Welcome back to another episode of Caps Off by the Game Day. We're here still in Las Vegas at Super Bowl Media Week, and we have a very special guest here with us, former quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, behind Aaron Rodgers, and now he is a self-identified YouTuber, streamer.
I'm a YouTuber now, dude.
Welcome to Kurt Benkert.
Let's go.
Thank you.
Oh, beautiful.
Thanks, boys.
Welcome.
Hey.
We're clapping. We're holding mics.
Thank
this
you.
time,
Yeah, we were just talking off the pod. You officially know you've made it when you're a YouTuber and not just a creator.
Yeah, dude. There's like this stamp of approval where like people ask me what do I do and I never knew what to tell them. It's all random. And now I'm just like I'm a YouTuber and they're like, oh, I get it. And I'm like, okay. I'm like,
Immediately.
yeah. Sometimes it's like NFL media.
Yeah.
Like stream on Twitch, TikTok. Like I feel like TikToking doesn't hold the same weight as like telling someone you're a YouTuber.
No, not at all. Well, because I still think an older generation looks at TikTok as a dancing platform.
Yeah, they think I'm like shaking my ass or something.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I'm just playing Madden.
But
They don't-
YouTuber, then
They don't
you're
follow
big
Caps
time.
Off. They don't
Well,
follow
they don't.
Caps Off. That's the problem. How'd you get into the content game?
Dude, I was 12 years old just grinding game battles, Call of Duty,
Yeah.
in
Love
my
it.
aunt's basement. We actually lived with my aunt for a period of time, and I was just a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 grinder.
Unreal. Intervention?
Intervention,
Oh.
I mean, FAMAS, ACR, like all of it. And
Red camo,
me
red
and my
camo.
high school buddies got
Red
like
tiger.
game battles accounts, and we're grinding the ladders for 2 years.
Yeah.
So like I was a gamer before like I realized that I was gonna like do something with football,
Right.
and that's kind of where it started.
Yeah.
Never really stopped.
Were you a Madden kid also?
Oh yeah, I had
Yeah.
a Madden franchise with my dad and my brother, like for 10 years.
Yeah.
And so my dad owns used to own a tattoo shop. Like I grew up in a tattoo shop, and he used to have a PlayStation 2 in the front. And if customers could beat me in Madden,
They get a free
he'd give them
tattoo?
a discount.
Oh,
Oh,
shit, you were
discount.
nice like that when you were a kid.
Oh.
My dad was using me to hustle people in Madden.
That's insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Now
Yeah.
now you're doing it professionally. I've
Yeah.
seen a bunch of your videos. Are you
Yeah.
breaking down plays with just playing Madden?
You and
Yeah.
Tariq Cohen?
Yeah,
that was
dude,
crazy.
Tariq's a dog.
What's
Is
he
he?
up to? What is Tariq Cohen up to?
Tariq is on the practice squad with the Panthers.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember he
So,
signing it.
He got his knee right. He had that nasty knee injury.
Yeah.
Which, dude, he was such a dog.
So talented.
But he might even be better at Madden than he was at football. He's pretty damn good.
Really?
Like, dude, we played Superstar KO, and he was just routing people up. Like,
That's
defense was
crazy.
nasty.
That's
I want to
crazy.
ask you, where are you at your playing career, your sport, your football
Dude.
NFL career?
I don't know, man. I think I'm not retired, but I'm
Are you
like,
trying to get back?
Do you want to retire right now? Could this be the official place
bro,
for
if somebody
Benkert
calls,
retires?
I'd be lying. Like, if somebody called me and been like, look, we're going to actually let you compete for, like, a 53-man spot,
Yeah.
I would go.
Right.
Yeah.
But my career, like, I was undrafted, so, like, once you have that tag of undrafted and you don't play, you're just the undrafted guy forever, and they'll
Right.
always put you on practice squad.
Right.
You did 5 years with the Packers?
No, one with the Packers, one with the Niners, and then 3 with the Falcons. So,
Oh,
like,
sweet.
the Falcons was, like, my chance. And then Matt Ryan never missed any games.
Yeah.
Staff got fired. Like, just kind of was what it was.
That's crazy. So you're not going to retire here. You still can. We'll give that opportunity for the next couple of
Appreciate
minutes.
that.
But if you had, as a former NFL quarterback, if you had to go to any roster right now, in terms of a place you'd want to play, something that's a little bit more reasonable, where would you want to go?
I'd go
If you-
straight to Atlanta right now.
Yeah.
There's
There's
where?
opportunity
Atlanta.
over there, bro.
Atlanta.
Like,
Right now, dude,
Atlanta.
that
Everyone,
roster?
that's
Oh
yeah.
my
Oh
roster's
God.
ridiculous.
That roster's nasty.
Every-
they have
yeah.
zero expectations at the quarterback position.
That's true.
And, like, Raheem Morris, he was my guy there. He was there when I was there. And then everybody got
went,
fired. He
yeah.
left, and I got cut by the new coach, the old coach. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Dude, that roster, we've talked about Bijan
Yeah,
and
I
Kyle
love
Pitts and
that
Drake
roster,
London
man.
all the time.
Dude,
Like,
I think they're
fuck.
a quarterback away from really, really competing.
I'm with you, dude. And the NFC South sucks ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Nah, they do, bro.
no, they do. But I
The
feel like
Bucks
they're all
won at, what,
hovering
98?
around like right above 500. They're like right there. So
Yeah, so maybe
Which
not
would
ass,
be
but it's like
as-
right above ass.
right. So not like super ass.
So you're
but
better
just
than
ass.
that.
Yeah,
You're,
yeah.
Super well.
you're good at. You're clean ass.
Well, then what do you want to see? Obviously, if you can't go to Atlanta, what do you want to see Atlanta do at the quarterback position? Is it trading for a Justin Fields? Signing a Kirk Cousins? What would you want to see them
Dude,
do?
I want to see them get a guy that can be an X factor. Like, Justin Fields, I think, can be an X factor. Like,
Yeah,
he's shown
totally.
that he can do it.
Absolutely.
If you can get him doing his good shit more
Yeah.
often, he's a problem. Like, if you can cut the
Yeah,
bad shit.
He was good. He was on a shit team. Like,
Yeah.
if you look at his numbers, he was
It's
putting
so
up
fun.
cut,
because
cut
we're
the
gonna-
fumbles, cut the fumbles away, and he's actually like.
Yeah.
Bro, he was throwing to DJ Moore, but, like, DJ Moore was also playing in the cold. It's
Yeah.
like, it's hard to play in Chicago in general. It's windy, it's cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The grass sucks ass. Like,
That
it was
feels
not an ideal
disgusting.
situation to be a passing quarterback.
Yeah.
If he could do that there, imagine what he could do in a dome.
For sure.
With Bijan, Drake London, the other receivers they have, Kyle Pitts.
Yep.
Yeah.
God
Like, maybe
damn.
get a guy in the draft.
Yep.
Like, I also think, like, watch out for Jaden Daniels sneak into Atlanta because if the Falcons get Jaden Daniels or Justin Fields.
Well, look out.
Well, then I
Look
guess
out.
you're saying that Jaden Daniels would go to them at the 8th pick, right? Which
Or
is
they
great.
trade up a little bit, maybe.
They might have to. But would you rather draft a Jaden Daniels, have him on that rookie deal, or trade that 8th pick and get Justin Fields? I think for us,
That's a good question,
we've
bro.
been very high on Justin Fields. Like, we are a very pro
Yeah.
Justin Fields podcast.
But
We've
you
also
made a
been
great
pro.
point.
We've also been pro Justin
Yesterday.
Fields getting the fuck out of there.
You know what? Yeah.
Yeah, but I was gonna say you made a great point yesterday,
Thank
which
you.
is if you go get a rookie quarterback, you got him on a rookie deal for the next 4 or 5 years.
Look at C.J. Stroud, dude. Like,
Yeah.
you could,
Yeah.
if you look at C.J. Stroud, like, his roster actually was solid. Like, they had
Yeah.
a good defensive coach. Like,
Yeah.
they were solid, but his weapons on offense, like, Nico Collins is a dog.
Yes.
He was a dog before C.J. Stroud got there. He just
Yep.
wasn't seen as that.
Yeah.
Like, I think a Jaden Daniels, any young quarterback, if you're going to go anywhere, send your ass to Atlanta. Because, like,
Yeah,
they got
I
a
would want
chance.
it. I would want it. But similar to what we were talking about yesterday, and I think it's where you were going with this, is that
Yeah.
the difference between Atlanta and just any rookie quarterback situation that you would kind of want from a cap perspective is that all the skill players in Atlanta are already
Young as
on
hell.
those rookie deals.
Yeah.
So theoretically, you can go pay a Justin Fields while
Yeah.
these guys like Bijan, Kyle Pitts, and Drake London
Yeah.
are on their rookie contracts. Versus it's usually flipped where you need that quarterback on that rookie deal to fill out other holes. But
I agree with
yeah, I
that.
don't know. I would love to see Justin Fields in Atlanta.
You also are getting, like, Justin, he's either going to go into his prime right now
Yeah.
or he's not.
Yeah.
Where, like, Jaden Daniels, like, his prime is going to be when these other guys need their payment.
Right,
You know what I
right,
mean?
Right.
right.
Yeah.
So, like, that's just another perspective.
It's
Well,
interesting.
so how do you feel about? Because this is another option that we talked about. A guy like Kirk Cousins going to Atlanta. Now I
He
think
doesn't
he's.
feel like Atlanta,
I,
bro.
it's
No.
not Showtime.
Or he feels
it's not
very
Showtime.
Atlanta.
You said X Factor. I think we're not putting X Factor and Kirk Cousins in the same
Kirk
sentence.
O'Chain.
Cousins will win them the division. Will he take him to a Super Bowl? I don't know.
And I don't think I personally wouldn't risk that because like we've seen Kirk, he wins games, takes your team to the playoffs, but then does he win in the playoffs? We haven't seen that. Whereas I think Justin Fields' sky's the limit. We don't know.
Justin Fields could make them a dominant team. Also, what I'll say is, like, if Kirk Cousins were to end up in Atlanta, he would got to get some tattoos, like some gold chains.
Yeah. He's
He's too
consistently.
white, bro.
That's
Kirk O'Chain.
exactly right.
Yeah, he
Kirk
needs to-
O'Chain
he
needs to
own
show up,
shit,
not Kirk
Yeah,
not other
Cousins.
people's stuff.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I mean, but the thing also to the point of Kirk, what you just said is like if you sign Kirk, you're swinging to get on base. If you trade for Justin Fields, you're swinging to get out of the park. And I think that's
honestly,
the
I
difference.
could care less if Fields doesn't work out there. Go get somebody else, but you have to take the shot. Like, you have
That's
to
what I'm
take the
saying. Yeah,
chance, bro.
that's the point.
I want to bring it actually to your time on the Packers because obviously, as I introed you, I said you were behind Aaron Rodgers, but clearly that wasn't the majority of your time in the NFL. But I do want to talk about that because obviously Aaron Rodgers still, I think, is considered a top 5 guy in the league,
Yeah.
despite having not played this year.
Yeah.
What was it like playing with that guy, being on a team with him? Like, was he cool?
What
Is he
year
a-
was that,
he's
by
the
the way?
dude.
Did you do ayahuasca with him?
I did not, but I
Would you?
was supposed to.
Oh, actually, there was a plan.
So this is what happened. I was invited to go on a trip to Costa Rica that I was signed up to go for, and I got signed by the XFL, and I said yes to the XFL instead of going on the trip, and I missed the trip. And then I broke my ribs 7 days later.
At XFL.
Wait, hold on.
Yes.
Did you know
Oof.
that you were going? Was it just like we're going to Costa Rica, and then now knowing who he is, you were like, I was probably gonna be forced to take ayahuasca with him?
I wasn't
or
even forced to do anything. I knew what I was like. We
Was
were
that
gonna
like
knew
go-
you were getting
that was a
into
team
like a
bonding activity?
we were
I was like,
gonna
we're
be-
going
yeah.
down. Okay.
Bro,
Like
it's like a
Aaron,
retreat
first
type
off,
thing.
Aaron is like probably my top 5 favorite people that I've ever met in my life.
Really?
Seems like a nice guy.
That's
Like-
good to hear.
Like not
That
even
is good
just
to hear.
because he's cool, because he like is in a cool shit or a good teammate. Like he's just a really good person. Outside, like who he is in the media versus who he is as a person.
Yeah.
Like
I've
he's,
heard
he's
it's
slightly
opposite.
different, but he's still him.
Yeah.
And like he invited me to go, and we were gonna go, and I called, dude. That was the scariest phone call of my life because I had to call him to tell him like, look, dude, like I just got an offer to go to the XFL. They're
Yeah.
gonna pay me well, and then it just didn't work out anyways because I broke my ribs
Yeah.
literally
That sucks.
within
Fuck,
10 days.
Man.
So like
Oof.
I'm sitting on the couch, like I couldn't move for weeks, and I missed Costa Rica because of it. I haven't told anybody about that.
That's crazy.
Is that the native ayahuascan spot for him?
Yeah.
Does he always go to
That's
Costa Rica?
that's
I'm not-
usually where it is.
I
I
can't
think it's
answer
like you
that.
get
I
a
just-
shaman.
My dad did it there, so that's all I know.
Oh, your dad
Yeah?
did it?
Yeah.
Oh.
My dad did like a little something like retreat in
I'll be
Costa
honest,
Rica.
it
I
kinda
did
You get a
ayahuasca.
shaman. There's
Kind
like
of
a
scares
So
the
it might
shit
be.
out of
It
me.
might be that.
It's definitely like nerve-wracking, but I also think like anything in that realm is like about your intentions with it. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
yeah.
What was Rodgers' intention with it? Just to like clear his head?
Win 2 MVPs in a row.
I guess, yeah.
Find himself.
Dude, I just look at him and like this is not coming from him, but like I look at him as a like lifelong learner,
Yeah.
lifelong grower. Like he's going to look to learn everything he can about himself, about the world.
Yeah,
and
that's awesome.
It's not like this woke culture. Like, it's not woke or like he's trying to be different. He really just wants to know as much as he can.
Right.
Like, he's an intelligent guy, obviously.
Yeah.
And I think that's just his search for, like, learning more and knowing more about himself and others.
What would you have to say about Aaron Rodgers as a player, having seen him up close in practice?
Different.
Like, you look at guys like Manning that are, like, just surgeons.
Yeah.
And I look at Aaron, like, Aaron's like an artist, like a Da Vinci. Or
Yeah.
It's two entirely different ways to play the game. And for me, I lean more towards Aaron's side where, like, I try to feel my way through games. I'm prepared, but, like, I also know that you can't prepare for everything.
Yeah.
Like, so I like to not put myself in a box where some people can't operate in that. Like, they need the structure and the rigidness.
Right.
Totally.
And he's just like, dude, when he pulls plays out of his ass from, like, years ago for receivers, like, drawing in the sand before it happens, and we're on the sideline, like, what did he just call? And they score. It's like, that's stuff that, like, you can't teach.
That's crazy. Well, then, I guess my question for that would be, because obviously there's that article came out from The Athletic about that Aaron Rodgers. They're building everything around Aaron Rodgers, and we know that, but that inside that facility, there's been a lot of issues, whether that be towards Robert Saleh and Nathaniel Hackett. And we were talking a little bit off the pod about the supporting cast in New York, obviously compared to somewhere like a Green Bay, where we see Jordan Love popping off.
Yeah.
Does Aaron Rodgers, even with this broke Achilles that's coming back, make the Jets an AFC favorite? Or are we still talking like Chiefs, Bills, and then we still need, because we have a lot of holes in New York. The offensive line, we were talking about the skill positions are not as great. They're high, but their lows are really low. So what would you say about Aaron Rodgers and this Jets team going into next season, 40 years old and a torn Achilles?
Dude, I honestly, like, the way that I was looking at it, like, this year, if they made the run, that would be kind of a miracle. Because even with him healthy, I thought it would be kind of a miracle because their O-line had a lot of holes.
Yeah.
And their drop-off from the top guys down.
It's crazy.
They did not have depth.
Yeah.
Now, like, this is all on the front office,
Right.
on the coaching staff that is involved in any GM-type operations to get the right guys in to help fill those holes like the Packers did. Like, the Packers didn't have the top guys, but they had a kick-ass O-line, they had a good run game, and, like, the ceiling for the Jets is really high if they can catch up everybody else that's, like, kind of underneath.
Yeah.
So I would say giving them more time away from, like, that big-ass cap hit and whatever's going on with their roster, their best chances this year.
Yeah.
Even though Aaron is getting older, like, he also didn't take a single hit this year.
Yeah.
He popped his Achilles, but, like,
That's
dude's
true.
healthy as shit.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, outside of that.
That's true. That's a very good point.
So-
Yeah, it's true.
Of all people's play styles, what quarterback in the NFL needs their Achilles less than Aaron Rodgers?
Totally.
That's a good point.
Jordan
he
Love?
doesn't. Yeah, he throws from any type of base, anything.
That's
Well, but he had some mobility to him.
But
I mean,
like,
I think
he
that's
will still have his mobility, like enough to. He's not like a scramble to run; he's a scramble to throw. So, like, how much do you really need to just get slightly out of the pocket to buy yourself an extra second?
Mahomes
You know what,
is
though? I
like
like
that.
the-
He's like the only other guy we've seen that does that.
Jordan Love?
Maybe more successfully.
Yeah,
Jordan
Well,
Love, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I want to get to, though, because you say he plays like an artist, which I think is really cool, the improvisation. Like, you see, it makes perfect sense what you're saying. Other quarterbacks like that, the Mahomes. Jordan Love is fun this year. We saw him kind of have some of those traits compared to more of a surgeon like Peyton Manning.
Brock Purdy just in the NFC
What Matt Ryan was,
championship.
right? Matt Ryan was really good, but like he's that type of quarterback.
Yeah.
What other quarterbacks do you think like have that trait that like stand out to you?
Josh Allen for sure.
Yeah.
Which I was disappointed watching their playoff game because I felt like they like tried to hold him back.
Yep.
In the play calling, like. That's just, I won't even get into that. That's a whole other story.
I mean, you want to talk about being held back by play calling. Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, like Mahomes. I think Purdy has that in him. Dude. Purdy has this ability to literally flip the switch from being a robot to being that dude.
Yeah.
And he is towing that line so consistently this year of like, when do we need him to be that dude and when do we need him to be Jimmy Garoppolo? And he's got a good balance to him. Like, you can watch different parts of each game and be like, that's a different quarterback. Or
That's what's so deceiving about
it's
him.
Weird, bro.
It's like we don't yet know. Like we talked about this yesterday of like is Brock Purdy a top 10 quarterback? And like, let's say he goes and wins Super Bowl MVP, like he's going to be, I think.
Yeah. Dude,
but it's confusing
like
because he has those
it.
moments of like Jimmy Garoppolo where it's like, what?
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck is? It's like he's not doing anything special. The system is around him.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think what's interesting about Brock specifically, and I was listening to Cam Newton talk about it. I think it was this morning. Well, no, because Cam, it's been going around that Cam is talking about him as a game manager.
Yeah.
And he clarified that statement by saying the best quarterbacks in the world can be a game changer, but then switch to being a game
That's Brock
manager
Purdy right
and
now,
vice
dude.
versa, right? So what you're saying, it's the same with Brock. Brock can be that manager, but when he needs to change,
Yep.
he will be that changer. And I think we saw that in the NFC Championship where in the second
100%.
half, he started using his legs.
Yeah.
That was a game changer, not a game manager. So when it comes to when it comes to Brock Purdy in their top 10, and I know we're going to want to get to your top 10 because we love asking that question. I think Brock is a guy that definitely has capabilities that we underappreciate.
Dude, he does. Like, to watch the sacks that he was able to get out of in that game.
That's the impressive part, yeah.
Like, dude, he's also like, what, is he 6 foot? 6'1"? I don't know.
Small.
What.
Yeah.
He's not that big.
But
He's
dude,
a high schooler.
he's probably like 210 to 215. He's solid. He's kind of built like Baker Mayfield, where like he's thicker than you give him credit
Baker
for.
Yeah.
looks thick, though.
Yeah, like
Baker's got a big head.
Baker's
He's got a big
He's got a
but,
big
like
head.
they're thicker
Shout out
and
Mary
they're harder to
Elizabeth.
tackle. Like they're compact dudes. So like Brock's burst and his ability, like his agility's nuts.
Yeah.
So like he might not open up and run a 4.7, 4.6, but like quarterbacks don't play in that world anyways. They play in
Right.
the shuttle world and like the L drill and like, you know, that's our world.
Yeah.
So he's got like such a weird blend of like Russell, like prime Russell Wilson,
Yeah, I see that
Like-
a lot.
Yeah.
but more like bursty and more like agility, where Russell was just kind of like a smooth athlete.
Yeah.
Like Brock's like quick twitch. So
I think that was a good transition, Adam. Kurt, can
Yeah.
you give us off the dome? I know we didn't
Okay.
ask you to prepare this.
oh shit.
What your top 10 quarterbacks in the league are right now?
Okay, so this whole year I did my rankings based on how I thought they were playing with everything around. So like you'd see Jordan Love at like number 3 at some weeks because he was balling.
Yeah.
And some great talented guys were not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This right here is straight off of talent.
Okay.
Sounds-
Straight off of talent.
I like that.
It's almost like 2024 power rankings at the position. Like once this
Yeah.
game ends, going into next season, this is your top 10
Yep.
quarterback.
If I was to start a team from 0, who would I draft? In
Okay.
what order?
Okay.
Okay, I like that.
So like
So let's go out on a whim and say who's number 1.
number 1 is Josh Allen.
Oh!
I'm saying Josh Allen's got it. Like,
Over Pat?
I'm taking Josh Allen over Pat.
Why?
As talent.
As talent, Josh Allen has a higher ceiling than Pat Mahomes as a runner.
I love
Like he does.
You know, I don't know if I agree with that. Now, I understand what you're saying because we've seen him run more. We've seen him utilize that more. But I think it's just a case
love
of
it too, but-
wanting to. Like,
Bro,
Mahomes can, when
I
Mahomes
love
runs,
Mahomes.
he goes and gets after it.
Bro.
I love Mahomes, but I think Mahomes would tell you that Josh Allen is talented as fuck.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Look, you're coming at it also from a player perspective.
Yeah, I'm like,
and if
who
that's
is
what
that guy
you- Yeah.
Josh.
that walks in the room and you're like, oh shit?
Well, hold on. He just walked in
We
the
just
room.
walked
I
by
was
us and
definitely not like, oh shit, that
Oh,
dude
I
looks like a
was.
lumberjack.
Yeah, I was.
And
I
he
was
would
like,
run
that's
you
fucking
over.
Josh
Yeah.
Allen.
And he would run you over.
I made sure to let him know. Fins up.
Okay, listen.
Lumberjacks are strong.
I'm going
bro.
Josh Allen 1.
Okay.
I'm going Pat Mahomes 2.
Okay.
Shocker.
I'm going, and Pat's like Pat's that guy.
Yeah.
He's also got Andy Reid. He's also
yeah,
got Travis
totally.
Kelsey. Like, let's look at
Yeah, but the
situations.
dude's a winner.
If you
Dude's a
put Josh
winner.
Allen on the Chiefs the last 5 to 6 years,
It's not the same result.
I
it
don't
might not
think
be,
so
but he's definitely
either.
got a Super Bowl. He's definitely
Okay,
got
no,
one.
I don't disagree with that.
He's
yeah.
definitely been to
Yeah.
2 or 3.
Yeah.
All right.
I love
No, situation is everything. We've
Pat
always
Mahomes,
talked about
Pat
that.
Mahomes is a winner, though.
Yeah.
He is a winner.
I'm not
That's-
saying Josh isn't, but Pat
winners
Mahomes
win.
is a winner. So, okay. Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes.
You
This
gotta
is
write
crazy
this down. I
already.
need to see. I'm a visual guy. We got to write
I'm gonna
this
say
down.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
say Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love
Yeah.
it.
If you take him off that team, they suck.
They're
Yeah.
terrible. Yeah.
They do.
Let me think about everybody in the league so I don't misstep. Bro, CJ Stroud 4.
Oh, yeah?
CJ Stroud's him.
What do you see in CJ that you want to keep him at 4?
Dude, his ability to throw in a tight ass square or circle around his body, like he doesn't need to step into throws to generate force to flick that ball downfield.
Damn.
And he can, like, to the last second, like, have shit in his face and just drop it.
So good.
Okay.
I think it was your video I saw of you breaking him down, of
Dude.
like literal guys like on him already, and
Yeah.
the ball is just leaving his hand,
Dude.
and he's still.
What's that?
I,
Dots,
workout?
Nico
I did
Collins.
not give him enough credit as a passer for him coming out. I thought he could make plays. I thought he was a really good player. I had him as my number 1, but like he's even more my number 1 after this year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
I'm gonna say those 4. Let me think around the league real quick. 4. Oh shit.
I'm writing him down so we don't.
And this
forget.
is tough because like I think Aaron is top. Aaron's got to be number 5, but we don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
I can't-
anyone I feel like would take like even 2 years of Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like I'm gonna say
yeah.
Aaron at 5 based on like merit of what he's always done and
For
been.
sure.
And then this is where shit gets crazy.
Okay.
This is where shit gets
Let me
crazy.
let
for
me think
everyone's
around the
list.
league,
It's
man.
the SC top 10 right here.
Let me think around the league.
Come on now.
Cooper Rush.
Good point.
I'm gonna say 6.
Jameis.
Jake Browning.
I'm gonna say
Daniel
6 is
Daniel Jones.
The Hawaiian Hope.
Why? No.
Gardner Minshew.
I'm gonna say Jordan Love is 6.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Jordan Love is 6.
I love it.
Then here we go.
You didn't overlap with him, did you? No, he's much easier.
With Jordan?
Yeah.
I was his backup.
You were?
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Sweet.
Yeah,
How's
How's
respect.
he? How's he as a dude?
He's
he's not him without you.
Hey, respect.
facts.
He's not him
facts.
without you.
That's
Hey, I
facts.
brought the
Same.
most immaculate vibes in that quarterback room.
I love
it.
I promise you.
Good.
So we
that's
just
what matters,
had
too.
Jordan Love at 6.
Yeah.
I mean, you can pretty much say
I'm saying
Jordan.
Joe Burrow at 7.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm saying Brock Purdy at 8.
Oh.
Dak Prescott at 9.
Yep. Wait. Okay, hold on. You said your list was based on talent. You think Brock Purdy is more talented than Dak
Yes.
Prescott?
Brock
Why is
can
that?
do things that Dak can't do.
Like
what?
Like scramble out of the pocket, make people miss in tight spaces. Dak plays with how big he is to make people miss.
That's fair.
And I also think that Brock's more accurate than Dak.
That I can see. That I can get behind.
I know
I'm
it's
not
tough
gonna
pill to
argue. He's a
swallow.
quarterback. He's watching him more closer than I am.
Felipe
I'm
is
not
a
gonna argue
diehard
him.
Dallas
I'm
Cowboys
sorry,
fan.
bro. Dak's still really
Dak's
good. He's
in
a
the top
9.
10.
Hey, don't
Still
worry.
top 10.
All right,
Two is
give me
gonna be
some
10.
other
Don't
guys
worry.
around
Here
the
we
league
Two
that
is
like.
ass.
Who else we
Who do
missing?
we have?
It's like a
Trevor.
no, there's
Trevor's
like a
in my
there's-
doghouse, unfortunately.
Oh, that
there's like a
sucks.
weird one, right? There's a weird one that's
Matthew Stafford.
down
Oh,
south.
shit.
There's a down south guy,
Stafford.
right?
Stafford.
No, there's a guy down
2
south.
is not in my. 2 is not.
He
I
was,
think
he
2
was
is a
trying
great
to get
guy.
you to say he's a
Two
Dolphins.
is a great guy.
He's a good guy.
You know him?
I know of him,
Yeah,
He's
a great
I know
guy.
of him too.
bro. I'm gonna say Matt Stafford's 10.
Matt
Yeah.
Stafford.
Yeah, I
And I
don't
don't even
hate
have to. Like, and he might even be higher.
He might be higher.
But he's Matt Stafford could easily be top 5, but I'm just going on like a vibe after 5.
5 after 5.
I love this list, bro.
All right, one more time. Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson.
Uh-huh.
Who was 4?
CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud.
Sajana.
Rodgers.
Then Rodgers, then Jordan
Then
Love,
Love.
then Burrow.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Purdy, then Dak, then Matt Stafford. That's
Yes.
kind of a fire list.
That's pretty solid.
That is a fire
age
list.
is just a number.
The comments are going to hate
did I
you, bro.
miss?
Why Joe Burrow? Well, my boy, Tua Tagovailoa, Donnie.
the Don?
The Don. You missed Trevor. You said Trevor's in your doghouse. Why is Trevor in your doghouse?
He does some shit in game that I'm like, it's so questionable. Like
Yeah.
football, like I'm not saying IQ wise, but I'm like game sense. I'm like, why did you do that?
Yeah.
Where I'm like, if he was a rookie that had made that mistake as like a 5th or 6th round guy, he'd never play again.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
They
Right.
wouldn't trust him.
It's a good.
But he also has plays that I'm like, holy shit, you're so talented. Like, not many guys can do that.
Yeah.
So I just like the ups and downs with him are so high that I'm like, I can't even put him up there consistently.
Yeah.
Oh, you know who
Heisen-
you missed? You know who you missed? Mac Jones.
Ooh. Good point.
What about Daniel Jones?
Nah.
I'm a Giants fan also,
I'm sorry,
so we
dude.
got it. No, it's okay.
Daniel Jones has a higher
Well-
ceiling than most guys, but like same shit. I'm like,
Well, I'm
Yep.
curious because you put Joe Burrow. I think what 7?
I
Yeah.
think Joe Burrow's the one guy that should slide down a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, going into this year, he was like number 2, number 3.
Yeah, and I
right?
I
Like,
was not. Like,
We've-
from the beginning of the year, I've been like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He is Jamar Chase,
He is
T.
everything.
Higgins, Joe Mixon. Who's the other receiver?
Tyler Boyd.
Tyler Boyd. Like I'm like,
yeah,
and you have a defense that creates turnovers.
Yeah.
it's true.
Bro, the defense has outscored Joe Burrow in the 4th quarter in his playoff runs. I don't want to. We are very very
We're on
high.
the same page, but we're
Joe's
okay.
great, but what makes
Bro, I'm
Joe?
putting Brock Purdy over Joe Burrow.
Woo!
I am. I'm
You want to flip
flip-flopping.
him?
Yeah, Brock Purdy at 7,
flipping
Joe
him.
Burrow at 8.
Flipping him.
I like that, but all right. So here's the thing, because we agreed with you before this season. We thought he was very overrated, and not overrated from the standpoint that he's not as good as people say he is, but people were crowning him as the second best quarterback. People were almost getting ready to put him ahead of Mahomes
Yeah.
I know. And I'm
last
like,
year
wow.
before that
ridiculous.
AFC Championship game. And so we thought that was crazy, but this year he had a bad year. Objectively, like when he was playing, he wasn't playing well outside of maybe a game or two.
Yeah.
And he was playing hurt, but a lot of quarterbacks play hurt.
Yeah.
So did he slide more after this year? Where was he before this season for you? And like, I mean, now we know where he is. He's at 8. But where was he
He
before
was like
this season?
4 or 5
Okay.
preseason for me.
Yeah.
More towards 5, and now I'm like, I'm giving him a little bit of a pass, keeping him in my top 10. Because there's other guys that I'm like, 100% were better than him this year.
Yeah, totally.
And he also has that like ice in his veins.
Yeah,
type
totally.
Shit that I'm like, that's not talent. That's not.
can't
like
teach it.
You can't teach it. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a talent that you can't quantify.
Yeah, I
Like,
get that.
Mahomes has that. It's
Well,
just
let me
winning.
ask you, because I feel like many people in the comments are going to ask why Joe Burrow. That's right where they're going to go to on
Yeah.
that list. Like, why Joe Burrow lower outside of
Yeah.
how he played, but like, what do you see in Joe Burrow that you you see elsewhere in a Brock Purdy or a Jordan Love or C.J. Stroud? Like, what do you see that differentiates those guys and having them above Joe Burrow?
So Joe's situation is like really set for him to have success.
Well, what about Purdy?
Purdy is too, but Purdy's also elevating them to a level we haven't seen before, like offense-wise.
It's true.
They went to the Super Bowl with Garoppolo, but their Super Bowl team this year looks a lot different than that.
Yeah.
Their whole run looks a lot different.
Ayuk had his best year.
Yeah,
Debo
like,
had a great year.
Purdy,
when he was playing.
they wouldn't have gotten past round 2 without Purdy this year.
I would agree.
They would have been 1 and out.
They would have
after
lost
the first round bye.
Would have lost to Jordan Love.
And so like I'm looking at like what quarterbacks would have dug them out of that hole like Purdy did, like a handful.
Yeah.
Like Purdy has that it factor. He's a gamer. He's a winner. Like
Totally.
So that's kind of why I look at it. And I'm looking at Burrow. The toughest thing that happened was his backup having success to that point for like
Jake Browning.
for like 2% of the contract value.
Yeah.
So
Jake Browning was the best example, right,
Yeah.
to it because
We were
look
saying
what he
that
has
too.
around him. Yeah, look what he has around him and played better than Joe. Now, granted, people are going to point to the injuries, but if you're able to play, you can't discredit or discount it, I would say.
We love talking about if quarterback is a product of the system. And when Jake Browning was balling out, we started to hop on that wave around Joe Burrow.
no quarterback in this league can have success without guys around him.
Yeah.
No matter who it is.
That is facts.
Facts.
Even Patrick Mahomes, even Josh Allen.
Like, I know that like the odds right now are not like heavily favored for the Niners, but the Niners have the better team by a long
fuck yeah.
shot.
Yeah.
Like
not close.
it is what it is. Like the Chiefs next year will be scarier when they reload.
Yeah.
They somehow found a way to make it, and that somehow is Kelsey, Mahomes, and Andy Reid, and that defense.
Yeah.
So like, you got to have dudes around you.
You definitely have to.
I want to move into the Super Bowl conversation.
Okay.
Obviously, you're here with sleeper picks.
Yeah.
So can you give us some of your best sleeper picks for the big game?
Yeah. So I have 2 that I'm like really loving.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy, I got his rushing yards at over 12.5. If they want to win this game, he's got to get loose a little bit.
I love
So
it.
I'm locking that in. I really love Deebo Samuel receptions. I
4.5.
might have got it at 3.5.
You got it at 3.
Oh.
I think I screenshotted your tweet.
Was
you
it
had
4.5?
4 Niners guys. Yeah, I think it was 4.5. You took Kittle at 3.5, right?
So Kittle is like they got to feed. The Chiefs are not going to lose by McCaffrey having 200 yards. They're not going to let that happen.
No, I agree.
So that's going to be their MO. Kittle's got to eat, and
Yep.
getting 4 receptions in that system as a tight end is not like a crazy thing. You'll get a few
No.
checkdowns. Debo, what he said to Jed York at halftime,
Yeah.
like, give me the effing ball.
Yeah.
They won that game because Debo sparked them off. Like, they're going to feed Debo, and he's going to get involved. I promise you that.
Right.
And then you look at, on the other side, I would never touch any prop bet on the Chiefs, receivers or tight ends, because you never know.
Right.
Yeah.
Kelsey's probably your best bet receptions-wise, but I'm looking at Pacheco, 2.5 receptions.
Ooh,
Give me that shit.
I love that.
And if it doesn't hit, that's a good bet going bad.
1.5x.
I love that.
I like it. I'm gonna take this entire fucking.
I'll tell you. I like
I'll
it.
go.
enter on this
Let's
whole
ride,
thing.
boys.
That's
I like
crazy.
it.
The Pacheco one's fun. Yeah, Pacheco one's really fun. Talk about a running back that I feel like he hasn't been catching a lot of passes this year, but in the playoff run, it felt like he's been trusted
They
a lot
fed him,
more.
dude.
They're over Clyde.
He's a dog, man.
He is.
Well, they've been over.
No, but
they
like
were never on
they
Clyde.
are
Clyde
not
sucks.
trusting Clyde Edwards-Helaire with the ball. That's for sure.
Last question for you, and then
Yeah.
we're going to wrap up here. Who do you got in the game? Who's your pick to win the Super Bowl?
Bro, Chiefs fans are going to hate me because I've been against them the whole time. I got the 49ers.
Why?
Yeah.
I think that either team could win, but I like the odds of the Niners,
Yeah.
like minus 125.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think that they're the better team, and if they show up, they win. Like they're the team that could run away with it.
Yeah.
The Chiefs, I don't think can run away with it. I don't think they're built for it.
But you can't keep the Chiefs around. If the Chiefs stick around, you're
if they
gonna
stick
lose.
around to the fourth, you're gonna
You're
lose.
gonna lose. You're gonna lose.
So I don't know. With how stacked the 49ers team is to show up for a big game, are you ever going to get them at minus 125 ever again in your life?
Right.
So that's what I'm.
I totally agree. I mean, this team is so talented, and I think we were saying multiple times throughout the year that this is one of the most talented rosters we've seen. Like, in our lifetime.
Period. Yeah.
If I took the Chiefs and they like lost, I'd feel stupid as shit.
Right.
I'd be like, I knew that shouldn't have won.
Yeah.
But then here's the thing, right? I think the reason why it's not more, like, because I feel like if we would have said mid-year, it's going to be a Niners-Chiefs Super Bowl, it's going to be like, all right, like Niners minus 600, like, insane. And what we've seen lately from the Chiefs, Mahomes just doing what he's doing. Like, they look like the Chiefs of old, obviously with less talent, but they just go out and win.
Yeah.
And so I think this is a case of, obviously, Patrick Mahomes is the best player in this game. Doesn't matter who else is in it. And I want to hear what you have to say about this, but the Niners haven't looked too strong in the playoffs so far. Like, they've come out slow both times they came out.
So they've looked excellent in the second half of both games.
Yeah.
They've looked like dog shit in the first half.
Yep.
Both games, in my opinion, were games they walked into thinking they'd show up and win.
Yeah.
Packers that were a wild card, Lions who, like, they're kind of still seen as the Lions sometimes. Like, they're a good team, but, like, I just feel like, oh, we're going to beat the Lions. We're the 49ers.
It's your take,
you know what
bro.
I mean? Like, I feel like they kind of expected shit to just happen and people to just make plays until they got in at halftime and be like, no, you need to go make a play. You need to go make a play. So
and then
they're not going to sleepwalk into this shit. It's the Super Bowl. It's the other best team in the world.
Shout out Sleeper.
Yeah.
So, like, shout out Sleeper.
Shout out Sleeper,
Shout out Sleeper, baby. But I don't see the 49ers sleeping on the Chiefs at all.
Yeah.
They're going to come out and they're going to get back to their style of football. That's how I'm seeing this play out.
Who wins
love
MVP?
Dude, I think
I didn't
Purdy.
ask that. Who was it?
I think it's going to be Purdy.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be allowed to feed McCaffrey enough for him to win it. It's either going to be like Debo or Purdy, in my opinion, if the Niners win.
That makes sense. Before we wrap, I know we were we were talking about Sleeper, but I think the biggest reason, or not think, I know the biggest reason that you're here right now is not just for us to shoot the shit. It's because you have a podcast with Sleeper, Pocket Presence. So it's obviously untold stories, obviously from yourself. Talk a little bit about Pocket Presence and what you got going on.
So my whole goal with what we wanted to do with it was like give a perspective from like my point of view and like what's actually happening.
Yeah.
Like not the media narratives, just I break down quarterback play, I break down film, we talk about situations in football, and then we have guests on and whatnot. But the whole, I guess, perspective of it was to give my side of the story on how I believe the NFL is going and what's happening versus like what you just see in the media all the time.
Totally.
So more of a analytical side from me and my perspective.
Sick.
That's awesome.
That's sick. Yeah. Make sure to go check that out. Pocket
Go
Presence
check
is
it
awesome.
out and go follow Kurt. And if you want to sign up for Sleeper Picks, use the code GameDay, or you can go to thegameday.com to sign up right now ahead of the big game. So go and do that. Happy Super Bowl, everyone. Kurt,
Appreciate it, boys.
Been
thanks
a pleasure,
for coming on,
man.
man. This has been
Hey.
great.
That top 10.
Appreciate
top 10,
it.
we'll see it. I will see it probably tomorrow.
That's
It might be everywhere.
spicy.
I love
Spicy.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Hey,
It was
appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Peace. Go check out Kurt Benkert on all platforms. Give him a follow, all that jazz. And if you want to sign up for Sleeper Picks, go to thegameday.com and use the code GameDay.